So after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was seen to be a success by the public at large, other franchises followed suit and went on the big remake hype train. And Friday the 13th was among the franchises that decided to go ahead and go forward with a remake. Would it be any good? Well, today we're going to be talking about it. So let's get spooky. Greetings everyone, my name is Nightshade. This is The Night Shift, a home for all things spooky, and today we're looking at Friday the 13th, the remake, released in 2009. Now whenever it comes to the big slasher franchises, I feel like I must go see this in theater. But it's not one that I was looking forward to. At this point in time, you know, after the Halloween remake rubbed me the wrong way, I was nervous. I was very reluctant to go see this or any other remake in theaters. After a buddy of mine told me that, you know, they thought that this was a pretty good remake, I went ahead and went and saw it in theaters. And whenever I left, it was alright. It wasn't the best, but it was definitely not the worst. This one is definitely a middle of the road for me. There are aspects to this film that I truly enjoy. Like I could even say love. There are parts of this film that I love, but there are also parts of this film that I absolutely despise. Like truly despise. Like it rubs me the wrong way with sandpaper. So let's not waste any time and go ahead and get into the review. For this review, I'm going to be breaking it down into two categories, the positives and the negatives. I'll let you know what I liked about this film and what I didn't like about this film. Then I'm going to talk to you about my favorite scene and let you know exactly why it is my favorite scene. And then after that, we will score this film out of 10 possible points and end the video. But here on The Night Shift, we always start things off on the bright side with So although the Friday the 13th franchise isn't really known for having good story, it's all mostly plot, I actually enjoyed the story of this film. Jason, as a child, watched his mother get beheaded in front of him. And after seeing his mother die, he's been surviving in the woods for many years. And then a few teenagers roll through his area unannounced. They start trespassing on his property, all in pursuit of that green devil, the devil's lettuce. Yeah, I don't smoke weed, so like I don't know any of the terminology anymore. And you know, Jason starts picking off people on his camp one by one, as is tradition. And the story is a lot more fleshed out than that. You know, Jason keeps one survivor alive, and her brother comes looking for her and gets entangled with other teens that are then picked off one by one by Jason. But you know, like, I'm assuming you've watched the movie already. I highly recommend doing so if you haven't, because this is one of the better story-driven Friday the 13th films, in my opinion. The thing that I love about this one as well is that they take the best parts of the first three Friday the 13th films and kind of create a story around that. They even kind of took a little bit of a story beat from Friday the 13th Part 4 in the dude that is searching for his sister. But like in Part 4, he was looking for his sister's killer. In this one, the dude's just looking for his sister. So it kind of also has Part 4 vibes in there as well. And honestly, this film is like a highlight reel for those movies. So in that regard, I really enjoy the story of this film. And you know what? I'm a fan of a Friday the 13th with a story. You know, like one that's not just plot. Now, moving right along into our next positive, we have Derek Mears as Jason is genuinely fucking terrifying. The way that Derek Mears portrays this version of Jason is genuinely fucking terrifying. Like, this Jason does not fuck around. Like, he hauls fucking ass, and like whenever he kills people, it's not just like a slow paced kill. No, this guy's like running at you, and whenever he catches you, you're gone. You're done. And you know, spoiler alert for next week, Derek Mears is very high on my list for best Jason portrayals, because like, holy shit. And this version of Jason almost made it to my number one. Like this is pretty high up there for me. I also really like the character design. I love the hockey mask in this one. I like that it's already pre-weathered, and you know, like the chevrons are already a little bit flaky. Like, he found this essentially in a storage bin after he kills the weird redneck dude. So like, the mask already has a decent amount of wear and tear on it, and it just looks really fucking cool. It's different from like the Part 3 and Part 4 hockey mask. but it's not too dissimilar that it's off-putting. It's like just the right amount of different. The outfitting is really cool as well. Also the under mask makeup is it's not the worst. Overall, I think it is a solid character design, and this is an amazing portrayal of Jason in my opinion. I think Derek Mears fucking crushed it. And whenever we talk about Jason, you know we gotta talk about the next positive, which is these are some of the best kills in the franchise. And that's honestly because, you know, the makeup has gotten better over the years, and the makeup techniques have been more refined, and there's just like technology as well as better. So like, you know, any of the CGI that's been used in these kills to enhance them at all, it blends in a lot more seamlessly than it did in like the early 2000s. And there's a lot of use of practical effects, and you know, I always appreciate when practical effects are used for the majority of the kills. It's like, I'm not anti-CGI, but like, you know, you need to use CGI to enhance the practical effect that is being used. And I think they marry the two together perfectly in this film. Like, for example, not show the kill because of certain assets that were shown, but you know, the lady that was under the pier, and you know, they stabbed down, she gets a machete to the head and then pulled up and then dropped back down. The practicality of that is where the chick, she was like hoisted up and like actually hit her head against the pier, and then they kind of let the harness drop so she would fall into the water, and they CGI'd, you know, the machete going in the head and bringing her up. And that's how you do it. That one's more of a less is more approach, and I think it was done really well. And you know, some of the kills have little tiny CGI enhancements to make it seem more realistic, and they married the two together, you know, practicality and CGI. I think this is like the perfect balance in kills in a movie, if that makes sense. So yeah, the kills, I enjoy them. They definitely had to go on the positive list. Moving right along into my final positive, we have... This is the best shot film in the franchise for sure. And that's simply because technology has gotten so advanced that the cameras are just immaculate. Like, the cinematography in this is beautiful. Also, the color grading looks phenomenal. This is the Friday the 13th with the most visual polish and just overall stunning camera work and camera movement. And that's simply because of the technology. The cameras have gotten better, therefore we're gonna get a better looking Friday the 13th. So that's gonna do it for the positives list. Now we move on to the not so bright side of things with... Every single character in this film drives me up the fucking wall. Every single character in this film gets on my everlast fucking nerves. And like, we see more of them than we see of Jason. So like, it makes this a pretty hard watch for me. And you know, the guy from Supernatural, like, I know people stand over him, but I fucking don't. I think he's annoying as well. Like the hyper vigilant good guy, fuck him, dude. Like, he gets on my nerves as well. Whenever you get a bunch of shitty characters, make no mistake, I find every character in this entire film to be a shitty, poorly written character, very annoying characters as well. And whenever they're the majority of what you see on the screen, it doesn't make for the best viewing experience at all. And one of the main arguments that I have been, you know, faced with whenever discussing this film amongst friends and peers is that, well, Nightshade, every single one of the previous characters are poorly written. That's part of the Friday the 13th charm. And to that point, I can agree, but this is a chance to do something better and do something more. Did it with Jason. Jason is great. I think they reworked his character and made him fucking awesome. So, you know, writing your characters and making them a little bit better than this, like make them tolerable, palatable, something. And you know, since they elevated Jason, why not elevate your character selection as well? I know that these are all supposed to be cannon fodder and walking cliches, but like, fucking shit, dude. Like if you made them a little bit more tolerable, I would have a much better viewing experience. And a buddy of mine had like said like, well, hey dude, like, you know, they're annoying so that, you'll cheer for Jason whenever they die. And like, I'm already gonna cheer for Jason. That's the whole reason that I watch these films, is for Jason. I just feel like everything else has been elevated in the writing of this movie. Like, we actually get story, and it's actually a decent story. Jason's been reworked, and Jason turned out fucking awesome in this film. The cinematography in this film has drastically improved compared to any of the other films in the franchise. But to me, it feels like the characters in this are stuck in the past. They're actually worse than the ones that we get in the past. Whenever it comes to Friday 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think that we get a decent amount of like well-roundedness within the character. Like, sure, they're all cliches, absolutely, but we actually get to know some of them a little bit more. So I don't feel like it's a big stretch to like, want to elevate your character selection as well. You've done it with everything else in this film, but why did they draw the line at the characters? Like, I don't understand. Like, there's nobody in this film that I enjoy outside of Jason, and that is a problem. And that's just my 2 cents. I know that other people enjoy the characters, and hey, hats off to you. I'm glad that I'm genuinely glad that you enjoy the characters and casting of this film, but I do not. So yeah, I've pretty much spoken my piece on that. I don't know how long this section is going to be. I went pretty rant heavy, so I don't know how much of this is going to get cut out. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to my next and final negative, which is the dialogue in this film is so fucking cringe. Everything is very on the nose with what they're saying, and it's like nails on a chalkboard. But also, like the sex scene, really, the dialogue in that scene made me want to get out of my own skin. I don't know if anybody has ever talked about their partner's nipple placement during the act of making love, but don't. This is not sexy talk whatsoever. I don't know. The majority of the lines spoken throughout this film are just extremely douchey. Everybody's lines fucking suck, and whenever they don't, they're just cringeworthy. And I don't know, just all the dialogue in this film is like nails on a chalkboard, and this one's like a rough watch for me. Like, I will gladly watch every single kill in this and watch every single Jason scene in this, but like whenever it comes to watching the characters, all the characters suck. All the dialogue that the characters speak in this fucking sucks. Like, it's all bad. It sucks because, like, everything else was elevated, but, whenever it comes to the characters and the dialogue that the characters speak, it's just bad. It's not good. It's bad. It's awful. It's fucking awful. And it feels like, the character writing is still stuck in the past, and that the dialogue, you need to hire a better writer, because whoever wrote the script, it's not good. So yeah, those are my only 2 negatives of this film, and now it's time we move on to the next segment, which is So without a doubt, my favorite scene in this film is definitely the opening, because holy shit. I remember being in the theater and just like hoping for the best, because, although Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one of my favorite remakes, the Halloween remake definitely was not. So I was already very on the fence on if they were going to do good with this. And so I was just hoping for a decent film. And then, whenever Jason right at the beginning just kills every single person in stunning fashion, mind you. Opening 20 minutes was just fucking intense. Thoroughly enjoyed every single second of it. So that first 20 minutes really sucked me in, and I was just like, oh shit, this is gonna be one of the best, if not the best, Friday the 13th. And then we got to meet the rest of the characters, and they really just ticked a lot of points off of this film for me, and it's a shame because, it started off really cool. Jason is fucking phenomenal in this film, but every character outside of the first batch of kids dispatched, every other character in this film fucking sucks, and so it holds this film back a substantial amount for me. With that being said, let's go ahead and score the film. So when it comes to Friday the 13th, released in 2009, the remake, I'm gonna have to give this film a solid 5 out of 10. This is very middle of the road for me. Like, the story's cool, Jason's cool, the kills are great. The fucking characters in this film drive me up the fucking wall and almost make this unwatchable because they all just get on my fucking nerves so bad. Had we gotten good character writing and you know, more palatable characters in this film, this might have been my number one, but unfortunately all the characters in this film suck, so like it has knocked it down to the middle of the road, and that's unfortunate. So that is just about going to do it for me. If you like the video, let me know by leaving me a like. Comment down below what you want to see on the channel next. I will do my best to accommodate, I really will. And until next time, my name is Nightshade. This has been The Night Shift, and I will see you in the next video. Stay spooky, my friends.